Oriini Kaipara, Peeni, Henare, kia ora.
Kia ora.
I should have worn a hat. You guys are like besties now. You've been on the road a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. Besties, yeah, bro and sis.
Yeah. So, Oriini, you're standing as a candidate. Can you just explain, did you put your hand up or were you approached?
I did put my hand up and I was approached.
What about you, Peeni, back in the day, about 10 years ago?
Yeah, same thing. I was approached and had the backing of our whānau.
That's handy. So, Oriini, you voted for Peeni last time. What makes you believe you're a better representative?
Well, right now I am following in the footsteps of Takutai and I'm also following in the footsteps of Papa Pita. As you know, he was one of the first co-leaders of the party, and so it's more a legacy. I'm a mama, I'm a queer, and being a Maori mum, a single mum here in Tāmaki Makaurau, I can relate to a lot of women here in Tāmaki Makaurau, especially my age group, the 40 pluses. You know, we're also 40 years in on the Kua Ngā Reo and Kura Kaupapa Māori movement, and so it's more a turning of the tides for us with the loss of all our parents and our grandparents. Now it's on us, the onus is on my generation, and it's more about not wasting 40 years of the movement, of being active in our communities. Our reo, our tikanga, our mātauranga must be protected, and so under this coalition government, as you and I both know, we are under attack relentlessly by a government that doesn't care and wants to take us all back to a place no one actually wants to go back to.
Kia ora. Peeni, you just missed out last time. So if you got back in, what would you do different?
Well, when you have the mandate of the whānau here in Tāmaki Makaurau, things are different. Why? Because they've given you the opportunity to represent their views, their values, and what's important to them in the House of Parliament. So that naturally makes it different, which is why I am seeking the mandate to be able to have that license and mandate to go down to Wellington and truly represent the views of Tāmaki Makaurau. And I've said that for many others, if you don't have that mandate, ka haere poka noa koe, you're just drifting.
So why this party and not that party?
By this party, I can be me without being answerable or having to justify being Maori, and I can really come into my own. I've chose Te Pāti Māori because it aligns solely with who I am as a wahine, not just the reo, but the ability to lead, to kind of feel my way through on what that leadership style is. I don't even know what my political voice is. I'm experiencing it through this campaign, and I know firmly that once we get through to the other side, I know I'm going to grow. I believe in myself to do that, and I believe in myself because I have the backing, the mandate of my own whānau and my own community and the people I represent, which are the diverse communities who often stay in the shadows and do the hard yards. They're in the trenches. That's where I come from working class families.
So Peeni, why Labour and not Te Pāti Māori? I mean, you know, I understand that you've been in Labour for a while, but what is it about Labour that draws you in there as opposed to Te Pāti Māori?
Well, in all honesty, when I first started, I was approached by several political parties at the time. And at the time, I, alongside my whānau, in particular my father, who was big in my early political career and life, was very clear. Son, he Māori koe. It doesn't matter what horse you ride in on, he Māori koe. And so he, like I, believed that regardless of the horse that you ride in on, your principles, your ngākau, your wairua and your whakaaro Māori will always shine through, because that's how we were raised.
When it comes to elections, Labour gets criticised in the lead up for kind of like blanding down a little bit, not being as forceful as it could. Is that likely to change?
Well, I've always pushed back on that criticism. In the time and under the leadership of Jacinda Ardern, we did some amazing things. We did things that our whānau wanted. We did things that the Waitangi Tribunal recommended. We did those things, and I'm proud of that record. And that was in recent times. I've always been pushed, oh, well, you know, he Pākehā te Pāti. Well, our whānau loved Jacinda Ardern, and she did amazing things as our leader. So I'm proud of the record that we stand by, and we know, though, that we've got lots more work to do. Nothing's perfect, but we've got to continue to strive on that journey to make sure that the lives of our whānau do get better.
So Oriini, Te Pāti Māori gets criticised for being very theatrical and dramatic and not having really the influence to make a difference inside the house. So how might that change?
Yeah, Te Pāti Māori, and it's not just in the last couple of years, that's always been a stigma attached to Te Pāti Māori because it's never going to make government, it's a small party, it's never going to make it into government, but Te Pāti Māori has continuously proven the hate is wrong. They make significant change even in opposition. We've seen with Rawiri and Deb, you know, it might be trivial, but the fact that you can now enter Parliament and enter those debating chambers without a tie is actually a huge deal. As a broadcaster, there is a certain way that once upon a time you couldn't read the news if you had a moko kaua, you couldn't read the news if you had long hair, but that is who we are as Māori, as wahine Māori. We have our long hair, even our tāne do. So, you know, we make changes that ensure as Te Pāti Māori that Māori are allowed to be Māori however way that feels and looks like, designed by Māori, not told to or dictated to by somebody who's non-Māori to conform in a Pākehā space. No matter what, Parliament is built on stolen land, on Māori land here in Aotearoa. So, if not in our own country, then where else? Te Pāti Māori is the only party that currently exists, that has only ever existed to prioritise and commit to Te Ao Māori first. So it is a Māori first, it's not Māori exclusive, but it's Māori first because Māori are constantly on the bottom and the back end of any decision making made by any government.
Could that be one of the weaknesses, Peeni? Just focusing specifically on Māori with the messaging as opposed to being more inclusive?
Well, what we know is our Māori community, in particular in Tāmaki Makaurau, is hugely diverse. Not all go to have the opportunity to go to kura kaupapa. Many are on their journey for te reo Māori, connection to their whānau, to their marae, to their hapu and iwi. So we are a broad base. We're very diverse here in Tāmaki Makaurau. The other part to that is, you know, not all of our whānau find themselves on the benefit. We've got lots of very successful whānau here in Tāmaki Makaurau who are business owners, who are entrepreneurs, who are doing very well in life, who also want to be represented. And I've always made it clear that for my part, our job is to represent all of our whānau.
I guess one of the points that I consider is that that there's a wider possible cohort of people out there. When we talk about the reach of policy. So in terms of, are we shooting ourselves in the foot, I'm asking you both, by focusing distinctly on Māori when we could be reaching out to all workers, for example, Oriini?
I don't think so. I do agree that the messaging may construe or, you know, put out a certain perception that is actually a misunderstanding. But what I'm saying is, no, it shouldn't really muddy the waters when we prioritise Māori first. The priority is getting Māori off the bottom line. 68% of all New Zealanders are earning $60,000 or less. Majority of them are Māori. Majority of all our people in vulnerable positions, whaikaha, takatāpui, you know, our turi whānau, a lot of the vulnerable whānau, the 68% are Māori. So when we say first prioritise Māori, because Māori are tangata whenua here, Te Tiriti hasn't been honoured in the way that it should have been and that it was promised.
What I feel is that you're both on the same page in terms of the values and what you want, but it's just how do we get there? So that's why I'm interested in the strategies. So Peeni, when you're in there, so Oriini's talked about the need for transformation. That's what a lot of Māori talk about. When you're in there and you're in power, how difficult is it to be transformative?
It is challenging, and that's being upfront with all of the whānau out there. Whether you are a senior minister, a junior minister, or a member of a government party, it is difficult. It doesn't mean that the fight ends or the fight stops there. And, you know, I'm proud of the mahi that we've done as a Labour caucus alongside Willie Jackson and others to make sure that our voice is continually heard in those decision-making spaces. But I will be upfront, it is difficult. And we always have to maintain that what's good for Māori is good for the rest of the country so that all boats rise in a high tide.
Because it's easy to as a smaller party, and there's Greens and there's different parties, to sort of come up with really awesome policies and make a lot of statements, but actually, how do you get that influence through when it's all about the numbers in Parliament?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you'll never get change if you continue to do things the same way. And that's all I see every time, every general election, every by-election. It's the same things we've been hearing. 20 years ago, I heard the same story. 20 years ago, we experienced the foreshore and seabed hikoi. Last year, we experienced the treaty hikoi, and that was the most significant hikoi out of all of them, I believe, but not the only one. We still remember Dame Whina Cooper. But yeah, transformation requires courage, requires boldness, and requires a stoic ability and a real whakapono, and a real firm one at that. Because our tauira, our role models, are the likes of Dame Whina Cooper, are the likes of Tā Timoti Karetu in the real space, you know. No one believed, yes, difficulty is the key word, but impossible? Absolutely not.
The tribunal, Waitangi Tribunal, found there was no cession of sovereignty. Do you acknowledge that, Peeni?
It was my father who took that claim to the tribunal on behalf of Ngāpuhi. Of course I do. I was raised in that. That's the mana motuhake I've always believed in.
Do you acknowledge that too?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do you both, I'll ask you first, reconcile that with participating in the Crown parliamentary process?
Look, the perfect example for me is the haka. I did the haka on the floor of that parliament alongside our whānau and on behalf of our whānau. And I don't back down from that. I've never apologised for that. I made it clear, though, that as it is on any marae or in any other space, if you break the rules in order to continue to be able to be a voice in that house, I waded up and said, well, actually, I'm going to apologise for breaking the rules of the house because my voice in there is important. If you didn't, oh, well, then you couldn't go to the house. But I don't apologise for the haka because I stand by that. That's a perfect case of you can do both. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
So, Oriini, is being an MP inside this Crown machine, is it a compromise or is it strategic?
I don't believe it should be a compromise. Not at all. Not at any point should we have to compromise our own mana motuhake as Maori first. The MP part comes with a choice. It's a choice. But to be a Maori, that's not a choice. That's inherently who we are. And so I agree with Peeni, there shouldn't be a moment where we have to choose one over the other. For me, tino rangatiratanga has no place whatsoever in Parliament for parliamentarians or politicians or an MP to decide what tino rangatiratanga should be outside of Parliament. Tino rangatiratanga inside Parliament is different. It's the job, the role of an MP for a Māori seat specifically to ensure that whatever happens in Parliament that is not imposing on the mana motuhake of our people. That is what I see as the role as a Māori MP in a Māori seat. That is their role. Ensure that the House does not impose anything, any of its rules on LORE, on kawa, on tikanga, on mana Māori motuhake.
But it does though. I mean, we've seen a whole onslaught of laws being passed, Peeni, which every day people are going, oh my God, I can't believe that. What the heck? So being a part of that system it must be a difficult thing to do because you're basically saying, okay, we're in here, we're agreeing with this. Now, how do we make more than incremental change? How do you build towards transformation?
Yeah, and that is a big challenge. It takes numbers. It takes those who are prepared to stand by what they believe in, push for that change, but to also gain the support of other numbers in the House.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. And, you know, I've said it on a number of occasions. We did some awesome stuff with Te Tiriti o Waitangi and legislation, but just like that, 51% and it's gone.
Yeah.
In order to entrench that stuff, you need to get more than 70% of the numbers in the House, which does require kōrero, wānanga, to make sure we can do it, but it also means you've got to look right across the House and not just to your friends in the tent.
Oriini, what's the relationship like between Te Pāti Māori and Labour? How would you describe it?
Well, I've been here 2 minutes, so from the outside
you're ready
looking...
to rock though, girl. Come on.
Yeah, no. I would say it's cordial. I would say it's cordial based on what I have experienced firsthand myself. I mean, look, we're sitting right here, Peeni and I, and my relationship with the Labour Party hasn't been soiled. Like I said, I've been here 2 minutes and it's been great.
Can your party leaders work with each other, do you believe?
I believe they can. In fact, Peeni's been saying that him and Rawiri talk quite often. I mean, they're taking photos more than him and I taking photos. Him and Rawiri are taking photos. So that's testament to no matter which party we serve as Māori inside Parliament, it's important for us to still be Māori when we leave that place. And being Māori is whanaungatanga. Do
you get the whiteboard out sometimes, Peeni, like the Green Party, Te Pāti Māori and Labour, and then do you stand there and go, okay, what have we all got in common? Because it feels like, as a viewer sometimes, it's what have we got different?
Yeah, yes we do is the answer to that. We have done, and we do so regularly on a regular basis. Down in Pōneke, we come together, we kaitahi, we wānangatahi, and it is important. And one of the big parts of, like any whānau, we also sit down and agree to disagree on a lot of things. We might not all be on the same page for a number of things, but there are certain things that you can clearly see that the left bloc, if you will, the Labour, the Green and Te Pāti Māori are all in alignment in the way that we think. So we've got a job to do to communicate that to our whānau, to show that we can make this government a one-term government, but they've got to also see something that they can believe in.
Is there one policy that tomorrow you've all agreed on that you'd put out there?
Well, we've already done that. That was Te Aka Whaiora. We agreed with the Māori Health Authority, the Green Party agreed with the Māori Health Authority, and I know that Te Pāti Māori agree with the kaupapa.
So there's 33 Māori MPs that came into Parliament in 2023. How did that one work out there, Oriini? How does it work when you're related to some of them, Peeni?
Yeah, and I've said that, I know people say more Māori in Parliament. Well, Māori are doing the worst under this government, and quite a large number of those leading this government are Māori. And it is difficult because they're my uncles, they're my whanaunga.
Do you get on the lift and do you go, really?
Yeah, I do, because that's what you have to do as Māori. Sometimes you've got to push back on your own, you've got to be upfront with your own, but you've also always got to remember that Māori side, we are whānau. I love my Uncle Shane. I was raised with his kids. That man taught me mātauranga Māori and whakapapa, and I will always love and respect him for that. But we're in a position where you've got to say, Uncle, Kāti, that's just not good enough.
Is there an MP from the coalition government that you respect or admire, Oriini? And there was a long pause.
Does that answer your question? I have to think long and hard about this.
What about you, Peeni?
It's the whanaungatanga thing. Dr. Shane Reti was my doctor and he's my whanaunga. Matua Shane taught me. Matua Winston lived with my grandparents. And so there are those whanaungatanga ties, and it's that old adage, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your whānau.
So there's a few regulations and laws that are coming through. I just wonder, gang patches, what have you thought about that? What's your stance on that?
Yeah, well, my stance on that is show us where it's had a decrease in crime. It doesn't. The statistics and the figures are quite clear to all of us that regardless of what they've done, all it's done is push crime into darker spaces where it's out of sight, out of mind. Well, that doesn't answer anything. That's why that's my stance. That's my personal view on these things, that if you're going to do something in particular through the law, it's got to have an outcome that you can measure. And those kinds of moves that this government have made have shown no measurement other than ones that take us backwards.
What's the one thing that you kind of woke up and went, oh no, you're getting rid of that or you've changed that? What's really got to you?
It is health. It is health. And I know Te Aka Whaiora is an easy example, but that's just one of the things they've done. They've removed the lowering of bowel screening policies that look towards supporting Māori and Pacific whānau who suffer the most. I did that mahi, and now it's all gone. And so if there was one thing I had to choose, it would be the hauora policy that this government have just taken away from our whānau.
So, Oriini, what would be the first thing that, if you were in government and as part of a coalition agreement, what would be the first policy that you would repeal?
Would I repeal? Oh gosh, that's a lot. Well, first off, we're in a cost of living crisis here in Tāmaki Makaurau, and we have been for quite some time. So the first thing I'd get back is free lunches in school, because that helps all our tamariki, our teachers, but also our parents, our mums and dads who are scraping. Not even scraping, they can't afford. They can't afford a lot of things here in Tāmaki Makaurau. That's the fastest solution. Get free lunches back, take GST off kai. That's something that we've been pushing quite a long time, but it's really ensuring that our whānau aren't struggling here or living on the streets.
So what about that GST on kai? Is that something that Labour Party might be supportive of?
Well,
We're
discussing our tax policy right now, and we've made it clear, and I think I said it last night, like any good Māori euchre player, we hold our cards close to our chest. Who's got the left bow and the right bow, and very soon, not too far away, Labour will be making its tax announcement.
Okay, it's a work in progress, is it?
It always is.
What is the key policy you'll be championing for this electorate, Oriini?
For this electorate specifically, it has to do for our mokopuna, our rangatahi, and I say that hand on heart because actually it's our rangatahi who put both Peeni and I to task when we were both committed to putting that promise for our rangatahi to be the centre of any policy that we design for Tāmaki Makaurau. Specifically, we've got many rangatahi living on the streets here in Tāmaki Makaurau without a home, so it's supporting the treaty-centric kaupapa Māori-driven kaupapa like Mā Te Huruhuru, like the Pride Project, like Dave Letile, or the community projects. It's investing more heavily in our whānau grassroots community projects and then ensuring whānau ora gets back up and is running with sufficient funds to ensure that our people are rising together and no one gets left behind.
What are you focusing on, Peeni? There's a lot of issues out there, particularly in Tāmaki Makaurau.
Yeah, mine is the economy. The downturn in the economy is pinching our whānau right across the spectrum of cost of living that's challenged for all of us. So the economy and the lack of investment by this government in the economy has seen our whānau go over to Australia. I've seen them go into the unemployment queues, and that's not good enough. But we know with smart policy and smart investment, we can get our whānau working again, earning good wages and living their own rangatiratanga and motuhake, mana motuhake.
Kia ora, tēnā kōrua. Quickfire, Oriini, titi or kāngapiro?
Titi. Titi.
You?
Rotten corn.
Fine, nice translation. South Auckland or West Auckland?
West side.
South Auckland.
Favourite orator in Te Reo Māori?
Wharehuia.
Mai tupuna tāhemi.
Oh, you were stunning too. Best singer in Parliament?
You're not there yet.
Ooh.
Real? Okay, Peeni.
I'm going to back my sister Kusla Tangaire Emmanuel. Beautiful.
Nice. What would your theme song be?
Ooh. I don't know if it's written yet. Hint, hint.
I offered Winston Peters treaty if he changed his policy, and he said, I'm not going to consign myself into political oblivion.
Oh, what?
Yeah, rude,
Can
eh?
I have it?
What about you, Peeni?
Well, there's a popular Māori one, you know, tōku reo, tōku oho. I think that's a great rally cry for all of us and our voices and our language.
Okay. Well, while we're on it, Oriini, give us a verse from something.
Well, I do have a song. Here it goes. How does it go? I'm stalling on that. Well, I don't know. I'm under pressure.
Come on, Peeni, you got a song? A couple of lines, otherwise I'm going to have to pull out the guitar.
Yeah, well, I'm biased, so it'll be ngā pua wai o ngā puhi, whakarongo mai, ki te reo e tangi nei, e ringi hia mai ana, mai aku ka mō, ngā roi mata e... That's enough, otherwise ngā roi mata karere mai.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a little bit of a... Nai iwi e, kia kotahira te moana nui a kiwa. Get our crew to sing. Nai iwi e,
ngā iwi e, kia kotahira te moana nui a kiwa. Ia, ie,
whakarongo, tautoko,
ia, ie.
Kia maura.
Kia maura, kia maura, ki te mana motu hake me te aroha. Kia maura, kia maura, ki te mana motu hake me te aroha.
Here we go.
Ia,
Ie, whakarongo, tautoko, ia, ie. One more round. Ia, here we go. Ia, ie. Kotahitanga, kia kaha, whakamutunga. Ia, ie. Tēnā kōrua. Nice. Thank you very much. All the very best to both of you.
kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora moana.